Is, and for that, we're going to send it back over to Kayla.
Last week, we had a very special guest announce our workout, and this week, we have another familiar face. For the announcement of 22.2, I give you 5-time fittest man on earth, Matt Fraser. Alrighty, Matt, it's the moment of truth. Are you ready to open the envelope?
There we go. All right. Open workout 22.2 is 4-time, a couplet of deadlifts, and what everyone loves, bar-facing burpees. Starting at 1 rep each, add 1 rep per round until you reach 10 reps for each movement. Then return back down the ladder to 1. There's a 10-minute time cap.
So, Matt, what are our initial thoughts on that workout?
Oh, man. I think this one, it could be a trap because, you see 1 up to 10, and so you think it's 55 reps of each, but you have to keep in mind this is a 10-minute AMRAP, so pace accordingly. But after you get to that 10, you get to jump back down, have a little bit smaller set. So I think this one could be fast. It's a lot of hinging, but I think, especially the group that's going tonight, I think they're fully capable.
It's going to be a fun one. Sean and Chase, what are your thoughts?
Practice not doing a 2-foot takeoff. Tomorrow, practice miniature rounds and get more familiar with it with intensity. And then on Saturday, that's when you hit it full speed. Once you're familiar with the new standard, so you don't need to think about it and constantly remind yourself as you're doing the workout.
Justin Medeiros is into his round of 8, as is Saxon Panchik. In the round of 6, Saxon got hit with a no rep that allowed Medeiros to open up a little bit of a lead on him, but now Saxon is starting to reel him in just a little bit as we are on our way up here. 1 to 10, then 10 to 9, back down to 1, I should say. 200 total repetitions. Medeiros is not even halfway through as we approach the 3-minute mark.
And we said on the women's side, this is the meat rounds. These are the money rounds. That 7 to 7, we said, is that, and as you said, Matt, it's not necessarily go slow in the beginning, maybe not waste some time, but it's waiting till we get here where you really start to throttle down.
Yeah, I think the commentary for the regular gym goers versus these two individuals is completely different. I'd be shocked if we see Justin's pace slow at all. I'm willing to bet he's going to get to the set of 10 and then put down the hammer. And Saxon is in peak shape right now. So they both look phenomenal. They both don't look like they're fatigued. I think they're going to put up some very impressive and scores that will hold their own on the leaderboard.
Justin Medeiros is now into his round of 10, and Saxon Panchik is closing out his round of 9. So Medeiros able to open up a little bit more of a lead here as we are at the crest of the ladder, and now it'll be back down in numbers after Justin Medeiros completes these 10 bar-facing burpees. Again, you don't have to have a 2-foot takeoff. Same standard that we had last year in the 2021 quarterfinals. Matt, you've worked with Justin. You've talked to him. You've been around him, training with him. What makes him so special?
It's kind of tough to pick one thing and where to start. He's an incredibly impressive athlete. He's super young. He has such a long runway ahead of him, but he approaches things correctly. The biggest thing that stands out to me is, he won the games off the 57th place finish in the Open. He is laser focused on his goal. He knows what his priority is, and the priority is the games. It's not the Open. So, he goes through flows with his training. Some point in his training, he's concerned about getting stronger and not being able to breathe heavy. But then when the time's right, he starts shifting his training and peaking for the right time.
Right now, he's on his way back down. Justin Medeiros is in his second round of 9 bar-facing burpees. Saxon Panchik has managed to close the gap a bit here. Now just 4 reps back of Medeiros as we have now just 5 minutes remaining. Halfway through here, 22.2.
Like I said at the top of the show when we were going, this is a nasty little couplet between the deadlift barbell pull from the floor and then the burpee push from the floor. Matt, when you're looking at this couplet between the two, we think complementary movements. Oh, it's push pull a little bit. Not quite when you put these two together.
Yeah, it's a lot of hinging. I think efficiency is going to be key here. If you watch Justin, he's not snapping both feet up at the same time. Stepping up out of your burpee, if they're barely slower than jumping both feet up at the same time, but they use a fraction of the energy. The other thing I want to point out, Justin's doing a great job. He's changing directions every time he jumps over the bar, so he's not getting dizzy by the time he goes back to his deadlifts. And that, I think, after 100 reps, starts to add up.
Medeiros now done with his second round of 7 deadlifts and into his second round of 7 bar-facing burpees. Saxon Panchik has now fallen back. He's 8 reps behind Medeiros.
Matt nailed it. I mean, Justin Medeiros' pace, especially on the burpees, but the transition from burpee to deadlift is probably the most impressive thing because there's a lot of time where you can feel sorry for yourself stepping up in the last burpee and knowing how to pick up that bar.
Yeah, I think too, you have to factor in that, Justin is a very, very good deadlifter. So this barbell is not even a 50% deadlift for him. So for him, he's not ever going to fail a 225 deadlift, not in this circumstance. Same with Saxon. So it's, just keeping that throttle down, reminding yourself, this will be over in a couple minutes. The pain will go away. I'll be fist bumping my buddy, drinking water in a couple minutes with a nice low heart rate.
50% of your deadlift. That would be a nice world to live in.
Medeiros is now into his second of 5 rounds, looking to get to the 180 mark, and then it should go pretty fast for him. Less than 3 minutes to go, 200 total repetitions is what these men need to complete this workout inside that time cap, and Medeiros is well on his way towards doing that. Saxon Panchik is going to have a good pace as well.
I think it's so hard to forget. Yes, it's 50% of his deadlift. Yes, it's burpees, but the intensity that these athletes now have to display because of their ability is a lot different than, say, someone like me doing the workout where I just think, how far can I get in 10 minutes? It's not easier just because they're fitter.
No, the fitter you get, the faster you go. The pain never gets less.
4 reps remaining for Justin Medeiros. Saxon Panchik is also on pace to finish well within the 10-minute time gap. Final rep for Medeiros, and he's going to take the matchup 7-54 unofficially. My goodness.
Some of the times we heard about what was tested coming into this was maybe getting underneath that 10-minute mark, not the 8-minute mark.
Saxon Panchik is going to finish as well, so 3 of the 4 athletes finished inside the 10-minute time gap, and that is something that we were told might happen.